Nobody can stop me, nobody can hold me, nobody control me. I'm coming!
All right. Welcome to the MVPs. We're going to make this short and sweet for you guys today. All right? Short and sweet. 10 minutes. That's all we're going to give you. 10 minutes. Because tomorrow we will be reviewing AEW Dynamite.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. I know, but listen. We're going to give you in the next 9 minutes and 20 seconds 5 reasons why AEW is about to end up underground. First reason, Tony Khan. Frank, please tell us why Tony Khan is about to put AEW underground.
Because he's a fucking herb. Like, the dude, Tony's biggest issue is he has a lot of them. I can't even point out what his biggest issue is. He can't handle criticism of any kind. So if you're telling him something different than what he thinks, he's taking it as criticism, and then he wants to respond to it, but not in a constructive way. He just wants to respond to it to say, well, basically saying, this is what I'm doing, you can watch something else, or, you know, if you're going to support us, just like whatever it is, what we're doing. Well, no. Like, you're trying to be counter. Instead of just being AEW, he's just trying to be anti WWE, and it's killing the company. Like, this is what ultimately put a bullet in the head of WCW. Like, instead of just trying to be AEW and only worrying about AEW, he is utterly and completely obsessed with everything in WWE. And so he's literally just trying to book the opposite of whatever the fuck WWE is doing, or booking something possibly similar to it. And it's hella corny, and it makes zero sense. And it's just like, it's sad because it's like, bro, you had an opportunity to really build something here and actually make competition at one point. But instead, you lean too far into the counterculture, the counter WWE shit, and now it's just, people are just over it. It's just like, all right, dude, enough is enough. I'm good. I'm good on this. I'm good on you. I'm good on this whole bullshit that you're on. It's ridiculous.
You're right. Enough is enough. Which just brings us to the second reason. The wrestlers. The wrestlers, they have freedom to say as they please. We've seen it many times. And we've seen many clips of these wrestlers coming out there pointing out the other company, pointing out all the flaws that people keep bringing up. And the flaws, there are plenty of people out there that actually support this company and are actually trying to help it. Like Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette just wants to see good wrestling content. That's it. He's not hating on your company just to hate on it. He actually wants to see you guys succeed. But when you got niggas like the Bucks, like Jericho, FTR, Jungle Boy, Hangman, all these other niggas that are now starting to just continuously bash niggas like Punk, who was just trying to point out the obvious in his interview and point out why this company is failing and why it won't improve. This is what happens.
Yeah, that pretty much is it. Like, it's like there's no type of stories. Like, there are stories, but they're terrible. There's nothing to really push any narrative forward. It's just like, I don't think he truly understands how small of a niche of an obscure group of wrestling fans are who just wants to see wrestling matches with no story, which that literally defeats the whole purpose of professional wrestling. Because if that's the case, you might as well just start watching actual collegiate style wrestling.
Which brings me to the third point. Frank, Tell me who are the top stars currently in AEW.
The top star in AEW currently is Phil Brooks, aka CM Punk.
You know what? Yeah, this is true. CM Punk is technically the top star currently in AEW. He still, I'm pretty sure he still has that belt with the X on it because ain't nobody beating him for it, by the way. So he's still the AEW champion.
It's crazy because it's just like people are just. It's like whatever you do. First of all, they've failed almost miserably and nearly the entire time of trying to build their own champions, like and build their own guys. Like it's just like they're just constantly bringing in WWE guys and basically running with them to the point where it's just like it's all you almost don't have any of your own people. It's like most of their top stars were in WWE.
Mm, tell him.
It's just like, and you've had plenty of time to build your own talent and get your guys over and get them to the point to where okay, they can move this company forward, and then we could really become real competition to WWE instead of just claiming that we are. But no, instead you just take whatever scraps WWE is done with, and you push those guys forward, and then your guys get pushed to the wayside. And it's just like, bro, people ain't signing up for this. It's just like, let's see, this company's been around 5 years. Their biggest star that they've had that was fully homegrown was MJF. The next biggest talent that's homegrown for them would be who?
Their next biggest talent that was homegrown, technically speaking,
Is what Darby Allen?
yeah. And for the most part, we haven't seen Darby Allin with a singles belt for a while, and he just had the tag belts with Sting, and now those belts don't exist.
And
So,
it's Darby Allen has spent the better part, it seems, of the last 2 years following Sting around. Like, what are we doing here?
and I think he's trying to die as well. So I'm not sure where that's going, to be honest with you.
I'm certain of that. And Jesus Christ,
like
with the
my nigga is definitely the next
the
coming
stuff that
of like Jeff Hardy,
yeah
and he wants to like just really fully end it, and I don't see the reason why.
yeah the stuff that they're booking with this dude in some of these matches, I'm like, they're definitely trying to have Darby Allen die on national TV.
Speaking of dying, brings us to the fourth point: the championship belts. Way too many, and way too many that mean absolutely nothing.
Not a single championship belt means anything. It's like from the AEW World Title all the way down to the tag championships, the women's mid cards. None of them mean anything, and it's not. And some of the wrestlers that have those titles are great, but it's just like for starters, there are way too many belts. Why do you have tag belts and trios titles? Like one or the other. You don't need both. It's just too fucking many. Then it's like they have what one, two, maybe even three mid card titles. Then they
Yeah,
have
and then they bring in the ROH belts as well.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's without counting ROH belts being defended on the brand. And then they also have what uh, they have a mid card women's title, the main women's title, and then the AEW World Championship. Like, why do we have all these titles? And personally, I mean, and not in all honesty and fairness, that's not just the AEW problem. That's a wrestling problem. But that's neither here nor there for right now. I'll talk about that again later. But it's too many titles in wrestling. It takes away from the title in my eyes because it's just like It's it's akin to the whole everybody gets a trophy bullshit. Fuck that. If you want to be that the guy, the girl, you're gonna have to work your ass off and get to this point. You don't get a consolation prize just because I'm working hard, but I'm just not quite good enough, so I'll just take this. No, you work harder and you earn that top title. That makes you work harder. That makes for better wrestling. That makes for better TV overall. It helps everybody. But instead, people rather be content and take the consolation prize, which all of that shit is reflective of of the leadership is there or lack thereof.
Speaking of lack thereof leadership, this brings me to the fifth and final point. Oh snap, we over at 10 minutes. Nah, it's alright. We can do a little overrun. Which brings us to the final point. Circling back to leadership, Tony Khan, TK,
It's
please,
Tony, man.
please stop bringing in wrestlers from the outside. Stop it. Stop. It's not gonna help. Mercedes Monet means nothing when you bring her in. Kazuchika Okada means nothing when you bring him in. Jay White also means nothing when you brought him in. Don't bring in people.
Will,
Stop. You know what you need to do, Tony
Will
Khan?
Ospreay.
Oh, Will, Will Ospreay. Where Will Ospreay at on this card, by the way? I don't see no Will Ospreay on this card. That's kind of crazy.
He's not. He's not on the card.
It's kind of nuts. No Jay White. No, that's crazy. No Okada. No Monet.
No Mercedes Moné. That's damn near $20 million that you don't have on your card.
And some people be like, "Hey man, they probably on Collision." Okay, that's great, but you know Wednesday is their main show. You know that's their you know their main show, the original, the starter, the big one. You know, it's like it's where people are supposed to be at. Collision and Rampage are just two things that happen to be created because of CM Punk. Okay, so no one really cares about those. It's really Dynamite that's the important one.
Dynamite is the A show. You don't have your A show without your A plus players. So why in the hell you just spent about $20 million on three talents and not a single one of them is on this card? Why? Not even if it's just to make an appearance. They're not even there. Not only not wrestling, they're not cutting a promo. They don't have backstage segments, any of that. They're just flat out not even there. With your
it's
ratings on
just
the
sad.
decline, and you have a main event of Samoa Joe versus Dustin Rhodes, fucking Goldust. You have a main event featuring Goldust in 2024. What the fuck are you doing, Tony?
Say that one more time. Say that last part just one more time, because I don't think Tony Khan heard you.
What the fuck are you doing, Tony Khan? Like, Jesus, man.
Well,
You
y'all,
can't say you're booking dream matches and that's the main event. Come on, man. That's unacceptable. But I
y'all
digress.
tell us. Y'all tell us if we're just talking or if we're spitting facts. Because judging by this card that I'm seeing here, let's see. Hold on. Joe and Dustin, Copeland and Pentagon, exposing all in backstage footage. Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa in some, I don't know what that is. Champagne toasts. Okay. Uh, Tony Storm Part 2 against Anna Jay. And then Hook, Jericho, Shibata versus Shane Taylor Promotions. I'm just, it just, I don't know, man. It hurts because I see things all over online. People trying to say give AEW a chance, and we've been trying.
Where's Swerve? Like, what
In
are we
catering.
doing here, bro? People want to say give AEW a chance. Where the fuck is Swerve?
Hey man,
Swerve is the most
swerving while he driving
over
right now.
person. Swerve is the most over person in the company, and you don't have him on the show. What are we doing?
Swerving and Wingstop with Jade and them.
What are we doing?
Uh,
Uh,
let's see. We're 15 minutes. I'm not 15 minutes. We're 5 minutes over. It's all right. Well, guys, we're gonna let y'all get back to your regularly scheduled programming. We will see you guys tomorrow. Unfortunately for AEW Dynamite, and we will see what Tony Khan has cooked up in his master plan to expose the all-in backstage footage.
yeah. Fuck Jack Perry.
What a way to end it.